thank you so much for making the time to be here. And I'm really, really, really happy to have you and go into everything. I am so excited for Shift to be a partner of yours and to be able to offer the app at 25% off with the Shift 25 code for Unplug. So thank you, Susie. That's awesome for our community. I was kind of going through the app for the last few days, and I did one of the sleep meditations last night about deep sleep. And I have to tell you, it was the first night in a long time that I could say from like 10 to 6, I slept soundly. I didn't wake up in the middle of the night.
Wow.
And then this morning, I did one of the confidence meditations. I feel like there's no rule, right? And we're all different individuals. So what works for one person may not work for the other. And so I sort of sometimes feel that if I found what works for me, stick with it. I've also found during COVID, it's been kind of cool to go outside of the box. Like, I love Light Watkins. I think he is so special.
I genuinely believe that variety is the spice of life. And I know, like, prior to us opening up Unplug Meditation, which is the world's first drop-in meditation studios, there is no one way. They all do the exact same thing. There's 3 things that happen in every single meditation, no matter if it's TM, guided imagery, aromatherapy, Zen, mindfulness, meditation, doesn't matter.
Silence, whatever.
Yeah, the 3 things that happen in every meditation are: 1, we pick a place of awareness, like the breath or the mantra. 2, we let it go, and we're just kind of in the sweet spot, like just here. And then 3, our mind starts to think. And then we notice, oh my gosh, I'm planning dinner, I should be meditating. We bring it back to 1. So awareness, let it go, mind wanders. And if there's one thing that I would love to share with anybody who's watching this right now, it is that you're going to think. There's no way to clear your mind. That is the number one misconception of meditation, is that your mind will be totally clear. It's just not possible. We have 50 to 80,000 thoughts every single day. That's about a thought a second. And they're going to keep coming. They're going to keep coming. And even if you meditate for 35 years and you're a total pro, you will still have thoughts. The Dalai Lama still has thoughts. Things pop up. But what happens is you kind of build your mental muscles, in a way, so to speak, to a place where you can stretch it out a little bit longer. And you don't question, am I doing it wrong? Because I keep having thoughts. That's what people always say. Am I doing it wrong? No. If you're not sleeping and you keep coming back from the thoughts, then you're doing it right. When we meditate and we sit up and we're meditating, okay, I have to take my glasses off. It's going to go like this. I don't know if that ever happens to you, but that is like us falling asleep, and then our neck wakes us back up. And so for the dozer in meditation, I always say sit up, and I do that all the time.
Because it's your own alarm, right?
Yeah, it's like you can't, like when you go deep and then it brings you back. Actually, one of the benefits of meditation is that those things that bothered me in the beginning, I actually started to enjoy the sounds of cars passing. It became like swoosh, like a wave. And when things honked, I would be able to witness and accept it and come back. And it was like part of the practice for me. So that's what's so beautiful about meditation, is that you're able to actually notice the way that you think, and the little things that used to bother you just won't bother you as much.
I think it's really adapting to our circumstance.
This guy, Bob Roth, he's a TM instructor, and he always talks about this analogy where he says, the ocean is very turbulent on the surface, just kind of like our lives. But if you slice the ocean in half and you go underneath it, you notice that it's still and silent beneath it. If we go within, it's quiet and still inside. So I love that.
Would you give me your definition of meditation?
Meditation is actually just the art of being 100% present. It's the opportunity where we actually not only witness the present moment, but we embody it.
Would you share? I want to learn more about like Unplugged and how and why you started it and how it's evolved. but will you share a little bit of your background and what brought you to the incredible concept?
Yes, I was a fashion editor. I worked at Vogue, Elle, Marie Claire, and then I was at Glamour for 14 and a half years doing makeovers on like Oprah Winfrey, Today Show, Good Morning America. I had a great job and I loved it. And I got to travel all over the world. It was a dream job. But I was literally racing through my life. And when my husband got a job opportunity in Los Angeles and asked me to give it up, I was like, oh, okay. And I moved out here with 3 boys. And I was, for the first time ever, a stay-at-home mom with 3 young children. And it might have been the hardest thing that I ever did. But I felt very uncomfortable not working because I had always worked my entire life. I never have not worked. So after 6 months and the kids were settled in school and everybody was like good, I started working again and I went on my first business trip to New York and I was doing taxi TV commercials for Lord and Taylor. And I was kind of having a panic attack because I left my kids with my husband who was working and with someone who I knew, but not like that well. And I felt very uncomfortable. And my mother-in-law is like, you need to breathe. And I'm like, what's that? She's like, just close your eyes. And she guided me on this 3-minute meditation that slowed down my breath and had me visualize my happy place, which is Jamaica. And so after doing that, I opened my eyes and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. It was 3 minutes. I went from having almost a panic attack to feeling great in 3 minutes. I'm like, what is that? She said, it's called meditation. You should learn how to do it. So I was Googling all the places to do it. There was no easy way. And I was kind of taking notes. I'm like, you know what? I wish there was
I'm
like
gonna do it.
a dry bar of meditation where you could go in and 30 minutes later come out and just like feel better. And I'm like, oh my God, I should open up the dry bar of meditation. And then I went home to my husband. I'm like, I'm going to open up the dry bar of meditation. He's like, you should learn how to meditate first. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to learn how to meditate and open up the dry bar of meditation. And then there was this teacher. I don't know if I'm like going on and on, so sorry for this. There was a teacher named Steve Ross who was like this legend in LA. And I called him to book a private session with him. And I'm like, you know what? This is a lie. I just want you really to help me with this thing that I want to do. I want to open up the world's first drop-in meditation studio. He's like, anything you need. And then I started bartering things. Like I was like, I will give you a free closet makeover if you help me design my logo. I will give you free media training because I used to do that if you help me with the legal stuff. And I started bartering all these things with people. And the next thing you know, for anyone who's watching, it is true. I lost 70,000 followers in 60 seconds because I did something really dumb. It could happen to anybody. And that's why I want to share that story because it is so, we rely so much on Instagram, which is kind of like silly. And it was an eye opener. It was shocking, but I realized like I can always rebuild. We can all always rebuild. It's good to let your pain help other people not experience the exact same thing. And those people who are going through things like whatever it is, they make huge mistakes and they get canceled in this new cancel culture, which sucks. Like we need to just be a little bit more empathetic, a little bit more understanding. And remember, there's always 2 sides of every story. So let's love everyone and forgive and not be a part of this culture that just cancels people based on like hearsay.
So another question that I wanted to ask you is for that person that's just, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to breathe. What's your take on that? And what's your answer for that?
Well, my answer is you're never going to have time. Oprah Winfrey is probably one of the most busy people in the world. So she makes the time to meditate. It is scientifically proven if you meditate every day for 28 minutes a day, and you should check out this story by Sarah Lazar. She's a Harvard neuroscientist where she does before and after brain MRIs where you can see
that was memory, one of my questions I had for you.
Memory, executive decision making, and focus and compassion grow in the brain, and stress and anxiety shrink. But I do want to say that it's very easy to start a practice. A lot of people say, I don't know where to begin. I don't know what to do. It's so easy. And what we do at Unplug app which is the Unplug
That's where I
app,
was going to go.
is we have challenges. So we have a 7-day positivity challenge that I curated personally, and it's 7 meditations that I absolutely love that help you start with a positive morning mindset every single day, plus like the science behind it. So you can learn, and all you have to do is like go onto unplug.com and sign up for it. So you get emails in your inbox every morning, and you just press that button and it'll tell you what the meditation of the day is. And that's it. You just do that and you'll feel better in 7 days. We also have a
Yeah.
30-day meditation one. So if you feel like you can handle more than 7, that one starts with a 16-second meditation, and then it slowly shows you how to build your practice.
So what you've done is so phenomenal. And I wanted to ask you kind of what's kind of happened since you started. Is it you have over 75 world-renowned meditation teachers?
And more.
And you also cover so many modalities. So will you tell me a little bit, I know what they are, but will you share about some of the modalities that you also offer in addition and with meditation?
Okay. So the Unplug app is really for real people and real life challenges. So what I've done is I've found, in my opinion, the 75 greatest teachers in the entire world. And I've had them record meditations video format. So it's like this, you feel like connected to them. It's not like just an audio voice in your ear. It's like you
Which
see
is
them,
so great.
you feel like you're connecting. It's like teaching. And we've done everything, like every insecurity that I have, that you have, that all of my friends have, there's a meditation for that. But beyond that, we also have sound baths, breath work, guided imagery, aromatherapy, crystal healing, mindfulness, meditation, like chakra tapping, everything that you want to find done by serious professionals who are incredible and engaging, and make it fun.
And I did want to ask you about the teacher training. And then I also want to know about your corporate programs.
Okay. The teacher training is another passion project because I get to share David G., who is a legendary teacher, who is maybe the funniest person. Everything he says that comes out of his mouth is genius. The whole thing is online. So it's in 6 weeks from the beginning to the end. At the end of your 6 weeks, you are totally certified with the 200-hour teacher training certification. So it's intense, but it's unbelievable. The first 5 weeks is on your own time. So you can choose what you're doing. And we have live webinars. So you're connecting with other people and you're sending us videos every week, kind of showing us that you get the information and you're able to share it in a simplistic, engaging way. And we kind of keep an eye on that going on up until the 6th week. The 6th week is from 9 to 6 every single day, where we are in person meditating together first thing in the morning. We're breaking people out into like Zoom rooms so that they're teaching one-on-one. So you learn how to teach a one-on-one. Then you're teaching groups. Then you're teaching larger groups. And we teach you how to teach in the way that I teach the teachers at Unplug how to teach. So you get all the information of what makes a great teacher, the do's and don'ts of meditation. Then we also give you scripts and then teach you how to dump them. So you know all about the science, you know all the scripts, but you find your own signature voice. And even the shyest people are able to teach with confidence at the end. And that has been probably like the thing that we hear the most, that we say touch our hearts the most, is that people say, I found my voice.
Oh, first of all, thank you so much for your time. And I know we'll run out of time.
Mm-hmm.
Your corporate programs,
right?
You go into different corporations, right?
Right.
And you help their staff learn a meditation practice.
Right. Well, we actually go into some of the biggest corporations in the world.
Right.
We send in teachers, and usually they'll buy like 4-packs or 8-packs, where we basically have a teacher go in and we do the 101 of meditation, because half the people are busy skeptics and we teach them all a simple meditation technique that stops stress very quickly. And they love that. And so we know how to speak to them in a way that makes it fun and makes it engaging for the group and makes them feel connected. Then we go from there to different types of practices where we then build it up. So it's a longer meditation where they can just drop in and have a break. It's almost like an inner vacation. And what, we work with Google, YouTube, Salesforce. We've worked with the biggest McDonald's and the smallest.
I would love, love, love to hear about the sound baths because I thought I was allergic to doing a sound bath digitally. I wanted to know, and I have two questions, so you can pick which one you want to answer because I
Okay,
don't know if
I'll
we
try
have
to
time.
answer them both quickly.
Okay, so what are a couple of pointers or things you think we all need more of as we navigate through this time? And my second question is, as we go from this global pause and reemerge into this new shifting world, do you have any final words of wisdom to leave with us?
Use this as an up leveling. So use this time where you're time affluent to up level and enhance yourself, whether that is taking a course, whether that is, taking another training of some sort. Just take some time to do a little bit of self investment in things that make you feel good.